So it is a good day to you, huh? So good to see you. Your light, your brightness, it's all different colors now. We believe your innate abilities are showing. Yes. You have seen into your heart. Please hold that energy of your heart as it is expanding and moving beyond who you thought you were. Moving beyond how you thought it was possible. Acknowledging that focus, that energy, that love, that harmony, that connection that you have with all other beings on this planet. You are the light of the world. You cannot put that light under a bushel basket any longer. You cannot hide it because the light is going to shine through the cracks of that basket because it is so bright. I want you to breathe deeply to anchor the energy that you have experienced here this weekend of love and light and connection into a physical part of your body just by tapping that. So you can always return to that energy. You know, everything is energy, yes. Intention is everything. Just as we told the wondrous being who has the wedding ring that is moving to another dimension, feel it in your emotional body. And know that that emotional body will bring that energy back to you. You see, your heart is the connector. Your heart stimulates all other activity in your body. So as you breathe that heart into the acceleration of you, know that now in this moment, you are more you than you may have been. You, with your gifts, your talents, your skills, your joy, your wondrous abilities. That is who you are. We have to make sure you understand that. We've gone through the numerology as we've connected. We've learned so many things. New aspects that science is now supporting your heart. Science is supporting the fact that your intention builds all things. Breathe that in. So what is your intention? And if you have trouble breathing that in and you go back to your world and you have that world sort of pushing back against you, you've experienced that. That is antithesis. As our dear Kryon stated, or Lee, one of the two, stated that when the light gets so bright, the opposite of that light can come in and push a little bit. And yet that just causes your light to expand. Take that power stance of light. Hold that energy. Because you are the new human. You can't be missed by that energy. You can't think, well, they're the new human, but I'm not really. Well, you can think that. It is a choice. Is that what you choose? We don't believe so. You see, you've had many, many experiences this weekend. Some of you have gone into the Akash several times. When you're sitting here in this room or in the other room or in your bedroom, in your hotel room, maybe in your own home. Know that that is a tool for your own evolution. It is not just for planning games. Oh, we've been a hat maker before, yay. How are you utilizing that skill now? How are you opening people's crowns if you were a hat maker? How are you understanding that the Akash is a tool for your evolutionary being? The Akash is you. It is in every cell of your body. You cannot not enter it, even though it may be white all over. When you enter it, know that you just may be looking at a snowstorm. Get your sunglasses out and put them on. You see, everything is pertinent. Everything. There are no accidents. Every detail of your life is important for you to acknowledge and remember. And some of those details you get the opportunity to integrate, so they're no longer in charge of your decision-making process. That is what we have just done. Breathe into that intention. I am willing to forgive all of everything, especially myself. I am who I am, a gift to all I encounter. Breathe that in. I am who I am, a gift to all I encounter. And I bring the innate with me wherever I go. Breathe that in. I bring the innate with me wherever I go, because we cannot be separated. We are one in all things, in all places. We are one in joy, in love, in peace, in truth, your truth. You see, dearest beings of light, you are that truth. And we know all those old stories that you've been telling yourself. Just laugh about them. Oh, remember when that happened? Wasn't that funny when you fell down the well and didn't come back out? Next lifetime you get to learn to swim. You understand? There is no death. You just keep on going. And the wiser you are, what happens? Everything. Trust yourself, dearest. Trust your love, trust your light, trust your vision, trust your peace. But most of all, trust yourself. And you will know how to live. Namaste.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. A different kind of channeling. Not necessarily a message, but three potentials. The meeting is being put on and hosted by what is called a futurist. A futurist is one who spends their life or the energies in trying to predict that which will come. And in the predicting of it, to prepare in a benevolent way when it happens. To put things in place that would agree with what is seen to be coming. That is a futurist. And in honor of that, I would like to paint a picture of three things that you could expect in your future. I'm going to base them around the questions that were asked of my partner today. One of the questions was about electronics, about machines, about the future of what you call artificial intelligence. Where is it going? Is there danger to human beings because of it? Is humanity to go into a dark hole of its own creation because it made machines that turned against it? Is it going to do the kinds of things that your movies have predicted, told about, goes into your consciousness? And here's the answer. You don't know what you don't know. And what I mean by this is, what is coming in the future is not predictable by anything that you've experienced in the past. The evolution of circuitry, of artificial intelligence, the evolution of technology itself for the last 50 years doesn't necessarily apply to the next 50. And the reason is because of a systemic paradigm shift. And that can only happen with consciousness that changes in its expectations of what you want, of what is happening. 3 scenarios. I'll give you the scenarios in a timeline that is not identified by years, but by positions. 1, 2, and 3, meaning first, second, third into the future. Now, what I'm going to tell you is real. It is not that a prediction from Kryon, it is that which Kryon and you have seen before in other places at other times. How is that possible? Are you talking about Earth? No. Remember, old soul, you're a very old soul. We gave a message some time ago. How old are you? And it puts you on other planets of free choice, going through this shift at different times. Many of you are awakening right now and remembering what's coming, remembering what to do. It's starting to temper your fear of what you see, because at some level you remember where it might go. The future is dependent completely upon free choice. That's you. How fast you make it happen, free choice. That's you. So if I say 50 years or 100 years, which I will not say, it'll be wrong. Faster or slower depends upon you. There will be some surprises. And the surprises in technology will be surprises because nobody ever considered it. Nobody ever invented it. Number one. This is not necessarily in the distant future, but it is number one. It would be the first step. And what I'm going to give to you in all 3 instances has to do with you, the benevolent healing technology of the human being. You're going to find the focus in the future of electronics is going to be health. It's going to turn inward into the human's ability for technology that will be benevolent and help you heal. Right now, electronics does not turn inward, it turns outward. You use something. It accomplishes something. In this particular case, that is an outward evolution. This is an inward evolution. Electronics, machinery, all these things going inward and turning to an understanding more of the human body. I give you the first scenario. It involves inventions that have not yet occurred, processes that are not understood yet by you, which are on the way. The cancer patient reports to the hospital. Lays down, but instead of surgery, there's something else that's going to happen. A very tiny, small injection with something going into the body that you didn't expect. Someone would call it, perhaps in your older energy, micro-robotics. It isn't. Oh, it's something new. And if you could examine the millions of little things that are being put into the bloodstream, you would be astonished And you'd say, I'm not sure that that's really even possible, Kryon, because they're as big as small cells, no bigger than a cell you can barely see with the naked eye. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions, all going. But they're not robots. There is no such thing as artificial intelligence because it has become something else. It's become intelligence of the human who is involved in the healing. Think of it this way. What if you could take a piece and the part of a stem cell that is you, that has a consciousness of you, that's a benevolence of you, that would never hurt you, that it's not artificial, and you insert it into that which is a microscopic machine? The cell, then, your consciousness is guiding the rest of that part. Part electronic, sure. Part mechanical, barely. Going through the bloodstream on its way to a place that is the tumor. And after literally less than 15 minutes, they're all collected around the tumor. It's not a robot. It's not artificial intelligence. It's you. Inserting yourself into your own body in a miraculous way through inventions that are not here yet. Part biology, part machine, part electronics, all together in a benevolent scenario that gathers around the tumor and with a process you don't know about, destroys it. Destroys it. A hint, what destroys disease? Not the scalpel. I'm not talking about that. What is it that can destroy disease? It's the first wave of the understanding. You're inserting consciousness right next to the tumor. And it starts to go away. It's dissolving. It has no choice because it's got millions of little yous all around it. Is this possible? Is something like this even feasible? I've just given you a reality that will happen. Now that's archaic compared to the next one. Leap over. How many years? It's up to you. How many years? The cancer patient reports to a building. And the building may have a sign that says the V group, complete and total healing. One-stop shopping for disease elimination. And the cancer patient goes into the building. There's no injection. This is the height and the evolution of virtual reality. Today you have the beginning of it. You put on a pair of goggles and you can look around, and what you see is that which is a program. You can look around yourself in 360 degrees. You'll be put into beautiful nature. You'll hear the sounds of nature. And in that you feel this virtual reality is all around you. Dear ones, that's a toy compared to what I'm going to give you. You go to a place, you sit down. I won't describe the apparatus. It'll give it away. It's coming. It will be invented. It's in the minds and the akashas of those who will do it. And in a moment or two, you are in another place. A virtual reality that lets you stand and walk and be. So real is it that you can interface with others, not with a program, but other intelligences that are human. They're in there with you to help you. Nothing is artificial about it, except the things you see. And what you see is a healing center. And in this healing center, a story within a story, you go into a building. And you lay down. And above your head is a screen. And on the screen is your tumor. And you're lying down for a reason. That is so you'll be relaxed and joyful, understanding. So there's no distribution one way or other to blood to your head or to your feet. It's normal. You're in a position of neutrality. The screen is above you, and you start to see your tumor. Given to you may be something called paddles. I'm not going to describe them. It would give it away. And in this, you are going to manipulate the healing of your own tumor, but that's not all. You're going to use some sounds also. You're going to sing a little, and there's going to be some affirmative kinds of tunes and sounds you may make. A schedule that you've rehearsed and that you know. It is so real. You're in another world, and yet at the same time you're sitting in a chair, lying down perhaps. But it feels like you could stand, you could be, you could do. In the real world, that's not where you are. You're in the virtual world. And then it happens. In this virtual world, you start seeing yourself heal your own tumor. You watch it start to go down. The healing start to be complete. There's a feeling of joy. You start to see your own healing in such a profound way, and you realize this is great. This is wonderful. Look what I'm doing. The virtual experience lasts a day or more. It is so real, you eat during that time and you're nourished. In a virtual situation, it's so real. You get up after you've dissolved your own tumor and you've sung to it and it's gone. You're not done. You go for the tests. And you sit, and the doctors start to test to see if it's gone. And it is. And you see the results, and you see the chemistry, and you see the charts. And they shake your hand and they say, congratulations, it's gone. All in a virtual world. When it's time for you to come back to the real world, they bring you back slowly. You didn't put on a pair of goggles, dear ones. I'm not going to tell you what you did, but it was complete. It surrounded you. There's nothing like it. Virtual world, almost like you stepped into another dimension. Not to give it away. And when you come back, nobody gives you any tests to find out how it turned out, because they know. Complete healing. You cognized with your own consciousness a total and complete healing that you had done yourself with the assistance of a virtual healing pattern, and you walk away without cancer. Now that's the power of the future, because it's a future that recognizes what consciousness can do and what it can be. That's scenario 2. Scenario 3. Question about the multidimensional human being. And in order to give this to you, this is where you're going by yourself, without any machinery, without any virtual, without any chemistry. This is evolution. Not to tell you how long it may take, it's up to you. But let me introduce something that's dysfunctional in your body. You don't even know it is. It's just the way it is, and you've accepted it, and that is called your innate. How does it feel to be the highest evolved creature on the planet with intellect, where you can examine your own being, why you exist, why you're here, to say the words, I am that I am, and yet there is another process in your body that is smarter than you. You muscle test, kinesiology, all to find out something that you ought to know, but you don't, because you are separated from your chemistry. Let me ask you, just logically, does it make sense that you would have been created in this way? And the answer is no, it's not logical. And it doesn't help your survival. Disease attaches itself to it, and you never know it until you're hurt. You've got to access the innate separately, completely and totally separately, through processes that are archaic, really. It can't really talk to you. It can give you signals. It can't talk to you, not really. Signal you here, signal you there. Innate, the smart body. The multidimensional human being is going to use that 24th pair of chromosomes that you think you don't have. Oh, 23andMe people. The 24th is multidimensional. It is not yet understood or seen or recognized. It's the one the Pleiadians gave you for today. Because it starts to work in you, and generation after generation, when consciousness starts to increase and you start to see things and you start to see quantum things, it will reveal itself in the double helix. And you will have a revelation, oh my, there's more than we thought. And what is it going to do? The first thing that you'll start seeing is children born with a meld of themselves and their consciousness and their innate. They will be their own healer. They will know all about their blood chemistry without a test. They will know when any disease tries to attach to them instantly, the moment it happens, instead of waiting for something to grow and have pain. They'll be their own medical intuitive. And people will see the first stages of this and they'll say, this is unbelievable, it's not right. It'll come out firstly as odd and unusual, and they'll isolate them because they're not normal. Welcome to Earth. That's what you do, don't you? That's what you've done to the autistics, you know. Because you don't see it coming, do you? You don't see the savants in the future, do you? You only see an unusual set of children that have odd communication, that are difficult in an old energy, because you're not there yet. You don't know what's coming. You don't see yourself in them, do you? A non-linear thinker. That's who they are. It's starting to show itself in so many ways. Look at what they can do that you can't, and that'll give you a hint of who they are. It's coming. That multidimensional piece of your DNA that you can't even see yet is going to bring your consciousness in line with your innate. Now, I finish with this. What is your innate attached to that is also a mystery that you cannot easily access, and it's called the Akash of the human being? You're going to be connected to your Akash. What do you know about the Akash? It's something that often bothers you. It bothers you because it only remembers bad things. These are the things that even today you work with, and successfully, but you work with them because they're not obvious. They're not pasted upon your consciousness yet, and they will be, which gives you full access to the wisdom of the past, full access to dismiss all negative things. This will be one of the most significant evolutionary steps of humanity, the marriage of the Akash, the innate, and consciousness. That will be the multidimensional human being. And when it takes place, you will then look at the fact that you might have come from the Pleiadians, and you'll know who they are. You'll understand, because it's all part of a scenario of connection, of coherence with your brothers and sisters from the stars. That is the future. How soon, Kryon? Not soon enough. Not soon enough. But you'll be there. Every single one with free choice will come back and be improved and improved in a world that has so much promise. Why, Kryon? Why all of this? What if I told you this? There'll come a time, dear ones, when it's your job to seed some other civilization in some other faraway place and give birth to compassionate action in other places of this galaxy. Are you getting this? How important you are at this juncture of time. So many mysteries, you might say, all to be revealed, and you'll be there. Don't fear these things, because they come from you. That is the message for today. And so it is.